All right, welcome to the second episode of Inside Fighting, the Fight SZN Podcast. We're here with our guest, Chito Vera, Bantamweight Star. Thanks for coming on, bro. What's cracking?
Anytime, bro. Nothing much, bro. Just training, staying busy, staying ready, staying high, staying great.
Staying in shape. I always see you're always training with Perillo. You're a boxing coach.
Every day, bro. There's no other thing, I should be doing, but staying ready, aiming for a world title, and we get to a point that all these fuckers, they want to hold position, they want to get the bigger fight. I'm here to be a world champion, so I'm taking on anybody that get me there.
So all fans want to know, what's cracking with Chito Vera. We saw you, your last fight was Dominic. You beat up Dominic Cruz. Fans want to know, are you going for the title next versus Aljamain? Is it going to be the O'Malley rematch? What's going on?
Well, at this point, really, there's nothing really said. I met up with Hunter Campbell the other day, and I was just like, hey, man, I know everybody everybody wants more. Everybody wants, everything. I'm like, I'm in a point that, we all want more, right? But in order to get more, you got to do more. And to me, it's just, give me a fight. Give me, they won't give me the title shot because that fat asshole is coming back. So since he never lost, I'm guessing him. So Segura's the bell. Omar is probably gonna sit down and wait for the winner of that. So I'm like, the highest ranked guy right now, name wise and everything, is Petr Yan. So I've been trying to get the fight with Jan, but that other asshole is crying, to the UFC about the judging and he should win. I'm like, well, you want to win the fight, you finish the guy, right? Maybe he didn't took it seriously because he fought a funny guy, but the funny guy can fight too. So I don't know. I think me and Jan main event anytime January, February should be fine.
Yeah, I like that. You're just obviously ready to fight, and you're saying the UFC is definitely not giving you the title shot. Like, there's no way because Cejudo's coming back. You said.
Yeah, as of now, I have thought that if Cejudo come back, he just jumped the ladder, and
Oh, wow.
I could sit down, cry about it, complain, say fuck you to anybody, but that doesn't help. That's a waste of energy. So just keep it cool. Give me the other guy in line. Who was the last champion? That's Jan. So give me Jan.
Right, and you're saying Jan's not down either. What are you hearing from Jan's side?
I heard he's still crying about the decision about with O'Malley, and he's like, oh, I shouldn't win. I want to go to Bellator, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you guys. He's just crying like a little bitch right now. I'm like, stop.
Right.
Best way to fix that is getting back on it and try to win. I've been there before. I got robbed against Sonja Dunn.
Right.
It's a day of energy, complaining or crying. I was just like, fuck it, give me another fight. They give me the Miley fight and fucking knock him out. So the best way to do it is, the best approach, in my opinion, is just go and get it, There's no time to start, to sit down and cry about shit,
Right.
Speaking of the judges, sorry, really quick. A lot of people are making a big deal about the judging at UFC 282. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that. People were saying that Jared Gordon got robbed, that the main event shouldn't have been a draw. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I feel in the same category as the rest of the world. See those things and you're like, holy fuck, like no one is safe. And I guess we can think on things like, oh, the UFC fixed that. Like, we can prove nothing, right? So I also see like a lot of negativity out there. Like, everybody was just like going crazy. But I don't know. I really don't think the UFC got nothing to do with those things. I just honestly think the judging, there's some fucking people that don't know shit about the sport, just kind of like grueling, mouth open, they don't know what they do. They just go like, I think this guy won. I don't know. And maybe those guys also get affected by, they know who's popular and who's not, and probably they're like, oh, this guy won, this guy. Who knows? The judging is garbage, and the people judging, I believe they don't know shit about MMA. Like they don't have like a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. They haven't wrestled. They probably never sparred in their life.
Right.
They just commission people, right?
You think having like a blue or purple belt should be a requirement for judges? They should at least have a blue belt?
Like at least any type of combat sport ability, like black belt in taekwondo, a little wrestling in high school. Like there's a lot of people out there that can do that can like, have a better criteria of one who loses a fight. Like sometimes they go like really crazy. Like some fights like that, like it's not like Jared Gordon killed the guy, but he won pretty clearly, in my opinion, and I'm not a party hater. I'm not one of those guys that just hate on people because they're popular or whatever. I don't give a fuck about nobody. I'm focusing on myself. But
right,
at the moment I was like, holy shit, the guy clearly won.
You think Jared Gordon clearly won?
Yeah. It wasn't like it wasn't like the beat down of the year, but he won. He won the fight.
Right. Dana said he had a shitty game plan, in the third round. Instead of clinching, he should have just went after him, kept doing the same thing he did, rounds 1 and 2.
I get that part. That's my mentality. Yeah. Even if I'm winning 2 rounds, I'm not taking a round off. You got to go and try to kill the guy at the end of the day. When I fought Brad Pickett, his coach told him, like, yo, you're winning 2 rounds, just chill, kick the leg and move. I kick him in the head. I came hot. So you can take a round off because shit can happen. So
right.
Dana was it sounds, for people that don't get it, sounds like arrogant, but those are facts. I'm like, if you're kind of like kicking the guy's ass, make sure you go kill the guy. Like,
yeah, keep kicking his ass, right?
Don't just be like, I think I won the fight, because Paddy ended the round winning, like kind of like on top, throwing bombs. So I'm like, why taking the round off? Like, that's definitely on the guy. I'm like, you don't take a round off. My goal is to take your head out of your body. So maybe not everybody think like that.
So I do want to ask you one more thing. I don't mean to do all the talking here, but because it's your division. What'd you think of Raul Rosas Jr.'s performance, his debut?
It was good, you could get in there, submit the guy.
Yeah.
At that level, you can look great, right? Everything comes out once you get to the bigger fights, and the guy is pretty young, so we'll see.
He came out today in an interview with Ariel, and he said he thinks he can beat Aljamain, and he thinks he'll like finish him. Like right now, he's ready for a title shot. You think he's from what you've seen? Does he look ready to you?
I just think that's cute that he thinks like that. It's good for that mentality, but he gotta do it. At the end of the day, I can tell you right now, I got the dick the size of a truck, but you gotta go and prove it, right? You gotta make yourself a name. Like the energy is proper, right? I'm gonna beat everybody, blah blah blah. Well, now you gotta do it, right? So we'll see.
If Raul Rosas Jr. wanted to fight you, what does that fight look like?
At the point, I can tell you every single scenario possible. It's not gonna happen. I'm number 4 in the world. The guy just has his UFC debut, so.
Right. He's not ready for a top 5 guy.
Well, he could, but he gotta fight. At the end of the day, there's a lot of guys in that top 30, top 40 that he gotta pass before he get even to the top 20, 15. So we'll see. The kid is young, so he got a long future ahead of him. Hopefully he do it right.
Hey, so obviously you want Petr Yan. You're saying he's still crying about his loss to O'Malley. Do you think he won that match versus O'Malley? Who won that one, O'Malley or Yan?
At the moment, I thought they would give at least a split decision to Yan, but I wasn't really like paying attention or kind of like rooting for either way. But in the moment, it seems like he could go to Yan, but O'Malley also hurt him. Land a good knee, drop him. They both drop each other. So, and in the control time, he didn't kind of like beat him up in the ground, but still getting him down and control him a little bit. So, they could give him the decision to Yan and avoid all the drama. But I get it. Judges probably know O'Malley more than they do Yan, so they probably get a little blurry by that too. So who knows?
Right.
Hey, are you annoyed about the fact that Cejudo is getting a title shot so quickly? just after taking, what is it, a 2-year hiatus, whatever it is.
Wait, let me stop him there real quick. He did you hear that, Chito? He called him Cejudo.
Cejudo, I'm sorry.
I don't know who the fuck Cejudo is. You mean
Mispronounced it. My apologies.
Cejudo.
Cejudo means the dumbass in Ecuador. So you were right. Right.
Okay, all right.
Cejudo mean, does that mean dumbass in Ecuador or what?
Yeah, Cejudo. If somebody goes
Are you,
like,
bro, you should
Cejudo,
start calling me Cejudo from now on.
Cejudo.
yeah, you did it right. No, he was actually called him properly.
That's hilarious.
Me, I don't get mad about those things. I really don't give a fuck. Like sometimes, how many fighters are like, "Fuck you, fuck the UFC." Like they go so much into complaining about things and wasting so much energy that then when they get something big, they cannot even. They don't have the energy to win because, to me, it's just like, what else can I do? If they say, "Hey, Chito, fuck you, dude. We don't need you. Whatever. Fuck off." I just go fucking around. I fucking find my way in. Like it's up to the person to say like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna figure it out. There's no time for complaining or sitting at the crying. I train every fucking day. I ran 13 miles yesterday. I'm not worried about what the UFC wants or what the UFC needs or who's good for marketing. I know 2 things. I kick ass and I'm marketable. Besides that, I don't give a fuck. I'm not competing against no one's name. I'm just making myself a name. And the way I fight and I pull people out, you can create that if you don't work. You cannot do that. It's just like a lot of people say like fuck. Like they just I'm like, I have no time for that. Rather get high instead, or I don't know.
That's what's up.
Do something, go surfing, keep training. When you're consistent, you're not thinking on the bullshit. You're seeing the good things you can go and get.
I seen you during the New York card. You stopped at a tattoo shop and you got a tattoo on your head. Is that your latest tattoo or is it one on your back?
Yeah, no, my head tattoo was the latest, and then on Friday I'm gonna have Mr. Cartoon finish my back. So
okay, sick.
I'm gonna be set on Friday.
Did you see Cormier saying something about your tattoos?
Yeah, I see like a title says like, oh, that's bad for his future. But I saw him the other day. I saw him in Vegas. He didn't tell me no. We're cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
I get his opinion. Yeah, makes sense, you know. But he's coming for a guy that have like what 2 tattoos. Probably he don't know. You know, it's different culture. You know, he's in one side of the world, I'm in the other side. I like Cormier. So when I saw that, I didn't, retweet and went like, so Google like, fuck you, you fucking idiot. I would be like, yeah, that's his opinion.
Yeah, it's all love. He didn't mean it in a bad way, probably.
There's 2 words, he said like it could affect my future, and I don't know, like maybe he's talking about like outside fighting. I'm like, I'm cool. People like you no matter what, so good. We're good with the world.
Hey, who could smoke more, you or Action Bronson? I know you're always with Bronson.
Action fucking smoked me out. 10 out of 10.
For sure.
I like a small high. I take a couple hits, walk. Yeah, the other day he fucking smoked me out in a way that I wasn't even working for a couple.
He likes bong hits or what? He's a big dude. He's like,
yeah, dude. He takes some heavy hits. He's a heavyweight. I'm a lightweight. That's my boys. But I don't try to compete with that shit. I keep it the way I keep it, nice and light.
I like a little bit, just like the way we did here. Just a couple hits, put it down.
Couple hits here and there, a little hash here and there. Like he introduced me to hash, which is the purest thing to smoke. So that's my boy right there.
I was telling Andrew last time that my wife can outsmoke me, so I'm a lightweight.
Dude, some people can just fucking pound with crazy,
Right.
Hey, Chito, out of curiosity, if you weren't going to be a fighter in your life, what would you have wanted to be?
Fuck, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a mobster. Who knows?
All right.
Maybe I don't know. Who knows, right? I don't know. I got enemies. I can probably do it all.
Yeah.
Is Luke, your boy Luke, coming back soon? I know he said he was retired after his last fight. I see him training with you though.
He's been training. He's recovering for his foot. He got a little surgery, but he might be back. I don't know. I can't speak for him because I don't know what he will want me to say at the moment. But the fucker is still in good shape, so I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled the trigger.
Right. Hey, well, listen, thanks for joining us, bro. We love you, and I appreciate it.
Much love, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
See
thank you
guys.
so much, Chito.
Hey, what were we gonna say?
No, I was saying thank you and have a good one.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, when can fans see you next, though? Like, are you gonna fight in Brazil in January, Australia, February?
My goal
London.
is to fight in the first. London might be. I love London. London might be cool, but who knows? There's no make sense for me to go there. Who knows? Who knows?
Who
But
knows?
I'll fight soon. I want to fight soon, so we'll
Peter
see.
Yan, sir. That's what's up. Hey,
Let's
thanks,
go.
man.
Pick
Appreciate
up
it.
Anytime, guys. Peace.
All right, cool.
See you later. I thought Chito was awesome. I thought that went pretty well.
Yeah, no, Chito's dope.
Was there anything like surprising to you? I thought it was surprising that he went after Yan, to be honest, like about complaining about the O'Malley result. That surprised me. Other than that, pretty on par.
I think Chito's just like a positive guy. He has a good attitude, and his attitude is don't complain, don't cry, just go to work.
Yeah,
and like he's in the gym at 5, 6, 7 days a week. He's always running. So I think his work ethic and the way he trains is he takes the same attitude towards life. Just like put your head down and work, because he made it clear he didn't like these complainers,
right?
People that are complaining about how they lost, why they lost. Just book another fight and get the win.
The big story is UFC 282 just happened, obviously. We did not have a new light heavyweight champion because it ended in a draw. Paddy Pimblett won, even though everybody thinks that Jared Gordon won. What were your thoughts on the weekend overall?
I mean, same shit you just said. Everyone thinks, the last two fights were. They think that Ankalaev should have won in the main event, and it was kind of a boring fight.
Yeah.
And then Pimblett, Paddy the Baddie. I like Pimblett. Nothing against him, but I don't like that nickname, Paddy the Baddie. I hate saying it too, and I don't like. To me, baddies are like chicks, women. Like, oh, she's a baddie. This guy's calling himself Paddy the Baddie. It feels kind of weird saying it. So I will say it though for just not research purposes, but just whatever. For lack of wanting to say his last name, Pimblett.
I feel like a lot of fighters feel like they have to have a nickname just in order to feel like they can market themselves. Just because, that's the way you get fights is literally not necessarily always by the quality of your skills, but the quality of your ability to sell a fight. So, I think a lot of these guys feel obligated.
I like Paddy.
Yeah,
it's not a lot of things that rhyme with Paddy though, like Paddy the Zaddy.
Patty Cake Pimblett.
Paddy the Zaddy. Yeah,
Patty Cake. That sounds worse.
I mean. But Paddy the Baddie is like, no, that's tight though. No. So everyone thinks that he lost the fight. I'm kind of with Dana on this one. Jared Gordon should have came out and fought the third round. He was winning, round 1 and 2, and like Dana said that Jared Gordon had the worst game plan. I kind of agree.
Yeah.
If you're winning rounds 1 and 2, don't just take your foot off the gas in round 3. Finish the fight. Go out there and really put your foot on the gas and go for the KO. So.
Yeah, but what's funny about that is Paddy said the same thing when he went out. He did his post-fight presser. He said that he lost the third round because he sort of took his foot off the gas, assuming he had won the first two. I mean, he's obviously he was wrong. That's what Paddy said. So it's sort of he used that logic, and he still won the fight, even though he most likely did not win the fight.
Right.
So.
I'm no fighter by any means, but I don't think you want to leave it to the judges. Like,
yeah.
You want to go out there and for the kill. You're trying to take someone's head off. You're trying to submit them, choke them, ground and pound them. You're trying to beat their ass. So when you just like leave it to the judges, it's like, if you get screwed, you get screwed. You left it to 3 judges who probably don't know MMA, never trained, and if you want to secure the W, go out there and get a KO.
But a lot of people were saying after this weekend that there's like a problem with the judging in MMA in general. Obviously, this is the problem that boxing had for a long time and still has. But do you think that there's like a judging problem within the UFC? That there's corruption or whatever? Because the Sabatello, the Bellator fight with Sabatello and Stotts, people were saying that whole scoring card was messed up because one guy had Sabatello winning like 50-45 or something.
I mean, I don't think there's a major problem. I think for the most part they get it right, probably like around 85 to 90% of the time. There's probably a few bad apples in any organization, but no, I think the MMA judges, are much better than boxing. I think for the most part they don't do a bad job. Obviously, they did a terrible job this weekend. The same guy who, like you said, he he judged Rufián Stotts, Danny Sabatello Bellator main event. 24 hours later, he was in Vegas, and he did he did UFC 282.
Yeah, and he had Pimblett winning over Gordon.
Well, Pimblett got cash.
Yeah.
So maybe he fucking, you know.
I mean, I imagine it's hard too when you're a judge and there's a lot of energy in the building and it's a close fight. I mean, maybe you don't see it as a close fight, but no, there was no like definitive moment that, I don't know, nobody got knocked down or anything like that. All these people wearing Paddy the Batty, I know you hate that, Paddy hair wigs, that it's probably like, there's all that energy in the room. They probably felt a little bit of it. They probably bought into it a little bit. Right. They were feeling it. So.
I like Portnoy and I like the Barstool guys, you know, for the record. But you saw them with the wigs and I think they sponsor Paddy. So
yeah, the $1 million sponsorship deal with Paddy Pimblett. The main event, really quick, ends in a draw. You said last week that you think that the light heavyweight division is kind of stale. And that, like, you want to see more of Jamal Hill. You want to see Jamal Hill.
Yeah, I want to see Jamal Hill. Yeah.
And what happens the next week, the light heavyweight title fight ends in a draw. Talk about stale, ends in a draw. And then what's announced 5 minutes later? Dana White agrees with you, bro.
Right.
He announces Jamal Hill and Glover Teixeira fighting in Brazil at 283. That's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, that's a hard fight for Glover, too. I mean,
it is.
You know, before that, he was going to go against, Yuri's a hard fight, too, so... He's used to fighting Yuri. He should be.
It's a different fight, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different fight. But Jamal Hill is, 31 years old? So.
Dante, how old is Jamal Hill?
Jamal Hill?
31.
Yeah.
He's 31. I'm pretty confident.
He is 31. You're correct, yeah.
That's a tough fight for Glover. Exciting. I mean, that Brazil card is going to be lit. Now you got Brandon Moreno.
Yeah.
And Figueiredo 4. And now you got Glover and Jamal Hill. That's a hell of a...
He was,
or maybe that's the main event. Who knows?
He said that they called him like literally 5 minutes after the draw was announced while they were still in the octagon. Jamal Hill says that that's when they called him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he got the call literally while they were still in there, or so he says. But and then he was
a smart man. Never doubt Dana. He knew what he was doing. He saw a boring ass fight. He's like, let me get Jamal Hill on the line. Probably text him and be like, hey, I'm going to hit you in 5 minutes.
He seemed pissed in that post fight. He was like, he seemed annoyed about it.
I don't think Dana ever truly gets pissed. Some people might believe that he does. I think he's a pretty even kill guy.
He wanted to act like he was pissed, maybe, just to be like, that fight sucked. But
I don't know. The fight did suck, though, so he wasn't acting.
Yeah.
It wasn't too exciting, you know. Don't be speaking on my homie Dana like that, though, bro. This guy's Jesse's calling Sakudo one.
I'm not afraid.
Cahudo.
Raul Rosas Jr. dominated his UFC debut. What did you think? Right. What did you think of his performance?
I mean, what'd you think?
I didn't actually watch the fight. I saw the highlight at the end. From what I saw, it seemed like he kind of dominated. He pretty much convinced that that he belongs.
I think it was a good performance. I picked him to win. You know what I mean? He was my lock of the night. I just thought I think he's the real deal, 18 years old. I don't think he's ready for a title shot or a top 5 fighter by any means, but you can give him a top 15. I think he'll be able to give him a top 15 fighter. And, Raul Rosas Jr., he might actually have a chance to be the youngest UFC champion in the history of the sport, in my opinion. The youngest champion in the history of the sport is what, John Jones, I think? 22 years old, Dante?
Let me see.
Well, I know about John Jones, I don't know when he won, but I think he's fought in more title fights than he ever did in non-title fights.
That's right. John Jones, youngest champion with his title victory over Mauricio Rua at age 23.
Oh, 23. So Rosas is 18. He has 5 years to be champion. I think he will be the youngest.
I think he's 17, bro.
No, he's 18.
He turned 18? All right.
Yeah, he's 18.
Yeah. They're pretty crazy, pretty incredible. I mean, also, he has some game on the microphone, you know. I think he's still a little young, but he has some game. Calling out, what's his opponent name? Jay Perrin, about the whole Santa Claus thing. That was pretty funny.
Right. Yeah, no, he's a cool kid. I like him.
Yeah.
He said after that, he wanted the I don't know. Did he get the bonus? Did he get the $50K bonus? He said he wanted to buy his mom a van.
Yeah.
And smart kid. I like what he said. He said he likes to kick it in passenger and just focus, like, instead of like being on point where he's going to get in a car crash or like having to drive and focus driving. He'd rather kick back and co-pilot or in the back before training and just relax. So you can't argue that. I like to be Ubered around too in a black car or something, just chill in the back, have a professional drive. Yeah, no, I like Rosas Jr.
So the performances of the night were Cameron Simon. I don't know how you pronounce his name. On the undercard, TJ Brown. I don't know if Raul Rosas could.
He got the, he got the 50K.
He did.
The 50K bonus for what?
He was performance of the night.
Nice.
Apparently Dana gave out a bunch of them. Chris Curtis got the performance of the night. That was cool
knockout.
Too.
Yeah, good knockout. Oh shit, he gave out a bunch.
Yeah,
Edmund got one too. Who
I think what happened was the undercard was so good that Dana just gave out bonuses to everybody, and then
there's a lot of finish. I think
he was
every
pissed
fight
off at the main card
every
guys.
Fight was some type of finish.
Yeah,
Looks like 10 people
Except for the
got
last
a
one.
bonus of the
because
night.
every
wow.
single fight leading up to the Paddy fight and then the main event were all finishes.
Finish. That's
And
tight. That's tight by Dana. See, I'm telling you, Dana's a cool guy.
He encourages the action. He wants action for sure. Yeah, that's actually cool. So everybody who won on the leading up to the Paddy fight got a bonus. That's cool. So yeah, he's gonna get his mom a minivan. That's dope. But I think the real performance of the night, me personally, was Ilya Topuria. That dude's crazy.
Yeah, no, I knew he was good. Remember, I said,
Yeah.
I don't know if I picked him, but
I picked Mitchell. I thought Mitchell. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be
13-0.
Yeah, Mitchell got his first loss. So
Ilya's 13-0.
yeah,
And he called out Brian Ortega after. He wants Brian Ortega. That'd be a good fight.
but he wants Paddy more than anybody, obviously,
Oh, right.
because he does not like that dude.
I saw him say in an interview today that he thinks the UFC is hiding Paddy from him.
Yeah, what did he say? He went to
two different weight classes, but
he went to the PI, and he said that they snuck Paddy out the back or something like that.
yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know. That press conference was entertaining, though, at least.
Yeah, no, Bryce Mitchell blamed his performance on having the flu. So that that's
Yeah. So this is what I was confused by. Did he say that he had the flu at the fight, or he had the flu leading up to the fight, and then he was sapped of his energy or something when he got in?
I think leading up a week before.
Yeah, he said, I had the flu the week before, and I thought I'd just tough it out.
Okay, got it. So I mean,
he feels like that kind of took his cardio a little bit and just your strength. But
yeah,
I just had the flu 3 weeks ago, and I never get sick. And this latest flu will fuck you up. It's a bad flu.
yeah. I don't want to say
I had the body aches.
a lot of people were saying that he was making excuses, but as somebody, you got over the flu, I got over COVID. That it does absolutely sap you. It fatigues you, and it lasts for a few weeks. Not surprising. I think that's what happened to Amanda Nunes against Juliana Pena in the first fight, but.
I think that's what happened to you today with the Cahudo thing.
Yes, I still have long COVID
COVID,
repercussions. Brother. Yeah, lack of brain activity.
Facts.
So.
No, that's a lifelong.
Right.
Guy's teasing a fucking
Coincidentally,
guest, visitor the whole time.
Coincidentally, only when I hang out with Cap, because normally my brain works fine.
That's pretty funny, actually.
But yeah,
so this guy wants Brian Ortega, and Brian Ortega, his last fight, he had an injury versus what's his name? I'm blanking on his name.
Yair.
Yair Rodriguez, and I think Brian Ortega's shoulder popped out.
Yeah, he dislocated it in the
fight. I think he might have went to surgery. I think he had some type of not an operation, or maybe possibly an operation.
Yeah, he's good though, dude. I really like Topuria. Really,
that's a crazy fight though. If the UFC can make that fight, Brian Ortega versus Topuria, personally, I would run back Yair or Brian Ortega. You don't ever want to see a fight end like that, shoulder pop out. I wanted to see. I was excited for that fight. Two Mexicans. That was gonna be a war.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to having more guests like Chito. I like that he kept it real. It was dope. Yeah. I do really quick housekeeping. Fights this weekend. It's the Sean Strickland versus Jared Cannonier. What's your pick? Who do you got?
Jared Cannonier.
Cannonier. I'm going to take Strickland. I like
both
Strickland.
Coming off losses.
Yeah, they are. Dante, who you taking?
Cahudo.
Cahudo.